take some time to go.
We'll wait like a minute.
Yeah.
You are fine, Sunny. No worries.
No,
Okay.
okay. All the worries are with
Okay.
you.
Nita and Sunny, you're live.
Great.
Okay. Thanks, Shahid. Hey, Sunny, how are you?
Yes, Nita. Hi. How are you doing? Glad to see you. Although I'm virtually here in Mumbai, but happy to hear your voice and see you virtually.
I know. I'm glad we are able to connect, and thank you so much for taking this time to come to the show, Dilse with PhirSe, which has returned back only for you after a long hiatus. So, thank you to all the listeners, anyone who has joined the show. I know we just went live, so I'm hoping there will be people on Zoom, and I'm hoping that you will enjoy and learn something from the show tonight. So, in terms of,
Thank you, Nita. Yeah, I think
yeah,
people are joining in, but thank you, Nita. I appreciate the opportunity. I would just like to mention a couple of things. One, the show is dedicated to all the frontline workers, doctors, nurses who have put their lives on the line. I'm a techie guy. I'm a back end guy. I did whatever I could, but the real credit goes to the doctors, and I happen to be part of the doctor family. With my brother and my and his wife, both being experts. So this show again is for them and the doctors. I'm just a representative.
you are not just the representative. I was actually going to say, few years back, my daughter, when she was in high school, she mentioned, she came back after a full day of school, looking very intense and serious. And I was like immediately concerned. I asked her, how was your day at school? And she's like, Mom, in the math class, the teacher said, life is hard and then we die. I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold on a
Mhm.
second. Life can be hard, but there's so much more to life and so many flavors to life. And it's not just life is hard and we die. So what I'm
Absolutely.
trying to
Yes.
say is where you stand in this show, and everyone, all the frontline workers, everyone who is contributing to the community in some way, keeping it together, you are showing life is hard, but so much can be done when we are working together, and then perhaps it's not as hard. So,
Yes.
so thank you again for being with us tonight. I would love to hear more about your recent trip to India. I would love to talk to your brother. You are doing quite a bit of amazing humanitarian work in Mumbai. And I'm sure, everybody, we can all learn together what you and your brother and your family has been doing to alleviate some, we all make difference in our own ways, but
Right.
what you are doing is very specific. So I want to learn about that and would love for our audience to hear from you.
Sure.
So Sunny, tell us a little bit, introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about who you are. And you said you are a techie guy, so tell us what you do in high tech.
Absolutely. Yes, I'll be happy to. My brother, just to let you know, let all the viewers know, he is already started seeing patients, so he will be joining me in a little bit. I am at one of the medical centers we run. I'm live from our center, and so he's right around, but running around as usual with patients. So I'll let him come and talk about his experience too later on when he joins. But I'll start with what prompted me to get on the flight and come here. So I'm a techie by background. Uh, been in the Bay Area, Silicon Valley since 1991. Started working in all kinds of early days high tech companies. early days of the internet. So worked through all of that, and then uh, focused my energy starting 2002 into solving problems for doctors. And these are, tech problems. What I found was that from my wife, my ex-wife, that doctors have a very different set of problems. They are very good at what they do, but they're very scared of technology. So I started building in the US. My expertise around healthcare processes, patient communications, patients management. The technical term for it is called EMR softwares, which is electronic medical records. So since 2002, I've been involved in the healthcare, health tech vertical space. So this is, kind of a brief intro into what, brought me to medical. Plus, coming from a doctor family, I was always, inclined and geared towards, solving problems for doctors and trying to understand what their pain points are. So with that, a lot of my work involved working with medical offices, automating their manual, cumbersome, processes, and in the end, help them achieve superior efficiency, which translates into better patient management and ultimately helps, the well-being of the community. So that was my brief, spiel and what I've been doing. And so in 2004, I visited India. Mumbai is where I come from, and started, talking to my brother about what I learned in the Bay Area about solving doctors' problems, and we came up with this idea together that we should start now helping, patients in Mumbai with the same technologies that I learned in the US. So with that goal in mind, I started, building centers in Mumbai with my brother and his wife, who also is a specialist doctor. And that's a kind of a brief history about VM medical centers and what we do in India. So I made the frequent trips all along to India since 2004, providing guidance to our centers, making sure, they are high tech compared to a lot of the other operators in India who are very unmanaged, manually driven. In those days, India has come, especially due to COVID, in terms of use of technology. So that's Nita. Sorry, I took some time to kind of build the background here and what I do, and I'm just waiting for my brother to show up. He's with a couple of patients right now. But as soon as he's back, we'll get into some more details about specific medical details about COVID services. But I'll touch upon some of that. We have created a specific COVID practice area, and so I'll at least get into that as we move forward.
Yes, and while we're waiting for your brother, I want to hear about all the, you recently made a trip to India just for, I mean, you have been in this space for a while, you said, since 2002,
Yeah,
you have been exploring this. 2004,
right.
you made further progress in it, and you have taken this technology and your learning to India. Little did you know at that time that COVID is going to be happening, and
Right.
here you are in India making a difference, like the way we were introducing you earlier. So since we are waiting for your brother, and I understand you want to have him do a little bit of talking about the medical center, perhaps how,
Yes.
like, you introduced the topic of the travel restrictions. What was your experience traveling to India in March or April? When did you travel?
Oh, good, excellent question, Nita. I'm glad you brought this up because it's an experience beyond anything I've ever experienced, in my life. Way back in March, when the COVID started showing up again in headlines, right? It started very subtle. People in India thought, oh, COVID is gone. India is completely safe. Patients, were non-existent in terms of COVID, right? So, kind of everybody is, enjoying life and, as if nothing happened. And suddenly, a few events hit India very badly. I'm sure, everybody knows the news that there was this big election rally and Kumbh Mela, which is one of the biggest, events or gathering for religious workers, right? So it kind of hit India at a very wrong time, and that kind of triggered this crazy second wave. So kind of March, things started, showing up in media that how COVID is showing up in pockets, during those times, and then come April, suddenly things start escalating, and people were taken, completely unprepared, unaware of. What to do, right? Totally unprepared. The medical fraternity was unprepared, and so April, suddenly we see this huge spike, and I'm not going to talk much about COVID because it's been well written all over the internet. So everybody got the shock, especially people in the US like us who were kind of watching the media, watching messages, social media, and kind of wondering, is this happening, right? So a lot of us way back, in the Bay Area, have relatives in India, and we heard all these stories, spikes and people getting infected with COVID. So what happened during that time? I was in constant touch with my brother regarding our centers, and honestly, we ourselves at our centers were not prepared. And then in April, we start seeing this huge rush of people coming to our centers for COVID diagnosis and treatment. So that kind of made me thinking, what's going on? And the real problem or the challenge we also at our center faced was we were not prepared to handle such a big caseload of testing, patients walking in, and also the government rules and regulations which were changing every day, right? So there is chaos, and I'm talking about April. There is chaos everywhere. The cases are going up, and um, government, wakes up, and there is a mad scramble to figure out how to, handle this, unmanageable caseload, right? And we faced the same. My brother was here. I was still back in the US, and he was running 24/7, handling patient calls, managing centers. His wife, she, being a doctor, she took the task of managing the centers while my brother was out in the field. Emergency calls everywhere, hospitals screaming for help. So, all these things were happening, and I'm watching it remotely, sitting in the US, feeling helpless, right? Looking at what was going on, feeling really horrible and sad about people, dying, and this, came out of nowhere. And a lot of our back-end systems and processes failed, even at our centers, because of the new reporting requirements. The government sent to my brother and his wife new ways of reporting COVID cases, testing requirements. All of these things just hit us, one shot, and so it's chaos. And the same thing repeated across, Mumbai at that time, which was the epicenter. and then it spread, to rest of India. So coming back, the same thing was repeated at every hospital in Bombay. A mad scramble, patients coming in, supplies, depleting, equipment not available, and you guys, everybody, on the call have heard enough. So, I don't need to stress about what went wrong in April with oxygen tanks not available. The good thing out of all of these things was suddenly people started helping from all over the world. US being one of the biggest charity countries, right? So everything started gearing up, and our PhirSe member have also helped this effort remotely. But the point was that at the ground level here, nothing was reaching the patients on time, which resulted in huge number of fatalities. And with fatalities came fear, right? Extreme fear of what to do, how to handle this. So I'm watching all these things remotely. We all were talking about it, in PhirSe groups. And in our private conversations, because our family started being directly impacted, and I'll have one of our PhirSe members talk about his experience, about his family, how the crisis impacted him. I believe he's on the call, Manish, but I'll let him speak about his own personal tragedy, where he lost his, dear family members in Mumbai. And he was indirectly being guided by my brother based on my, conversation with Manish. But coming back to my travel experience, in April, when all these crazy things are going on, our center had to be programmed to some extent with new processes to handle, reporting requirements, COVID case management, patient management, and all of that stuff. I sitting in the Bay Area comfortably, obviously I could have helped remotely, but I thought maybe this is the time to act and make a personal sacrifice and leave the comfy life of Bay Area and go and try to solve problems, help COVID patients directly, indirectly. So that's when I made the conscious decision to physically take the flight and come here to Mumbai. It was an experience like no other, and I'll be very brief about it. In terms of helping the viewers, because some of you, those viewers may be traveling soon to Mumbai or India. But it's a process, as complicated by the crisis as ever. There were, new, testing requirements 72 hours before boarding the flight. The tests had to be done, timely. The results had to be procured timely for anybody to get onto the flight. So I actually made the early plan to fly early May. I had a tough time even finding the flight, and the flight I chose initially first week of May got cancelled because as the India Inc. was scrambling to solve all these problems, the airlines were confused, what to do, because suddenly the borders started closing. People were not allowed in and allowed out either way. So my flights got cancelled. There were very limited flights available. So I've been, I've gone through some interesting time there. But just for the viewers, helping anybody who wants to travel, the test has to be done 72 hours. The results have to be uploaded to the Government of India portal. And I'll be happy to share links to the the Government of India portal. The result has to be uploaded. A negative test is mandatory to travel, and this has to be done before boarding the flight. One recommendation is to pick a flight which flies direct to India from US and does not have any stopover from either in Europe or any other country, because the moment there is a stopover, there is a mandatory quarantine requirement at Mumbai, where 7 days, you are put up in a hotel at your own cost, and 7 days at home. So I had to learn all these. Yeah. So I had to learn all those things while I'm spending my nights, talking to my brother as to how the centers are handling, COVID crisis, and what is the ground reality. Um, so with that in mind, I had to change my flight plans. Initial flight was via Europe. I had to take a new flight which flew directly from Newark, New Jersey to Mumbai. And that helped me to avoid the mandatory 7-day hotel quarantine. Um, and they're very strict, so I'll get into that. But the good thing was, at the airport they were very strict, and so I was prepared. The good thing on all these things was, I came prepared, and that's important for the viewers to be very prepared and not run into any difficulty at the airport. The flight itself was interesting. There were only 4 people in the flight. After all these cancellations, I managed to travel third week of May and land up here. And there was so much fear that people just didn't want to fly in the situation, especially to India. Pretty empty flight. Shocking. I've never seen an empty flight to India. With 4 people in the flight. And landing at the airport, and a completely empty airport, as if there was there was a big nuclear bomb had hit Mumbai. So interesting experience, with empty airport, empty flight, and very thorough checking at the airport. So they
Sunny, we lost you.
Hey, Sunny, we lost your audio.
Yeah, I think it's frozen.
Yeah, I think he's joining from Mumbai. You kind of frozen for a moment. Give us some time.
Yeah, I'm going to text him.
I think Nita, you had also experience, right, during your COVID, your family.
Yes, this has been. Give me just a second. Let me text him, because he'll not know that he is frozen. Give me a second.
Okay, let me do that. I'll do that.
Okay, thank you, Shahid. Yes, sorry, listeners. This is being broadcasted from India, so as we can imagine, some technology stuff is not in our control. But we'll try our best to bring you as much of comprehensive information and knowledge as we can in the allotted time we have. So if people have questions for Sunny and his brother, and I know Manish is here. So while Sunny, we are trying to contact him again. Manish, if you can hear me, would you like to turn your video on, and maybe we can talk about your experience? I know Sunny mentioned briefly that, there has been tragic event in your family. This COVID has created so much of destruction all around and created so much of tragedy. If you feel comfortable, would you like to share your experience? And I have some experience, I can talk about that too. I'm sure other listeners, audience also may have, things that it probably help us in collective healing. So would you like to talk about your experience, Manish?
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't want to go into too much personal details as to what happened, but yeah, I mean, I did lose my mother and my younger brother in COVID in the month of May. Like, it all happened so fast, so quickly, and within a span of 1 week. Sandeep was very helpful. Like, he connected me to Vipul, his brother, and Vipul was like a guiding factor. Like, basically, he helped us all throughout. And what the doctors couldn't explain, Vipul did help explain. And things were looking good. We were hoping that my folks would come out of the hospital, but in the end, I guess COVID got the better of them, and we just couldn't do anything. It was a shocking experience. I don't know. Like, we're still recovering from it. My brother's family is totally devastated by it, and they're struggling at this point. It's been tough.
It truly has been.
Yeah.
I mean, my condolences to you and your family. It has to be very hard, and I know in terms of recovery and healing, it's going to be a long process. It's just that I know personally so many families that are suffering at this point within my family as well. Um, for my personal experience, my mom and brother were hospitalized for over 3 weeks, and by God's grace, they both came back home. But there were several times when we felt they're not going to be. So this COVID experience has taught us, like, you cannot be careful enough. Some families never stepped out and still fell sick. Some family were stepping out and did not think much of it, and and were down with it. It's just like COVID has been such a big equalizer in so many ways, right? Like, rich or poor, living in India, living in America, doesn't really matter. It has affected all of us. So in terms of,
I think, the bottom line is, if somebody had real health issues to start with, I think they are the ones who are affected badly, kind of thing. Yeah, my mom was 80 years old. Like, she got the vaccine, but even after being vaccinated, like, when she had fever, kind of, like within like 7 days or something, got hospitalized. And like, what happens in ICU, we don't know. But she just died out of having blood clots. My brother, my brother's wife actually like works for State Bank of India, essential worker. So she is the one who first contracted it. But she was quarantined. She recovered. Their two kids got it eventually. They recovered. My brother got it in the end, but I think he kind of neglected it to some extent. He was hospitalized a little bit later. So when he was hospitalized, he was like 60% infected. His lungs were 60% infected.
Yeah.
He was in ICU for almost 2 weeks. I think he was on the right track. Like, he was showing progress, or he was showing improvement, but in the end, he just had a massive cardiac arrest and he was gone in a minute. We just couldn't do anything. It's just unfortunate.
I'm so sorry for you. So very sorry.
I think Sunny's back.
Nothing we can say or do here is going to, bring back the people, the loved ones that we have lost. But we are here to support you in whichever manner we can. Manish, please utilize our support.
Thank you.
I understand at least one thing from the experience, that from what I mean, there were the 3 weeks that my family was in the hospital, things developed very fast. And I understand that along with the fast disease progression, the need for putting on medication right away is equally required, right? Like, it's just one of those viruses which requires like immediate treatment. Even if you are late by 24, 48 hours, sometimes it turned out to be too late if people had underlying health issues. But you're right, some people would not have any underlying health issues and they still suffer.
I think a lot of people underestimated the the power of the virus. I think and it's just the fear of things. Like, the way India is managing it also is like terrible. It's like, if you get one person infected, they've gotten out the whole building.
Yes.
And the entire family is forced to live with that person. It's like, everybody in the family is going to get infected.
Is going to get it. Yes. Yeah.
So that is what is happening, and that is why, like, I mean, it's just going out of proportion, in my opinion. But then, what can we do until everybody
Right.
starts?
Yeah, it's been a hard battle for sure. It's a battle that, and that's why I really wanted to highlight, this Dilse show, definitely, because part of what I am hoping for in this, in our own ways, the difference that we can create. We have all gone through some major losses. Many of us have gone through some major losses, some at a very personal level. Some of us lost, extended family members. I lost them. And then, at least my mom and brother came back home. So while I'm very humbled and thankful to God Almighty, we want to learn from these experiences, because people who underestimate the power of such virus that we cannot see but only feel it, and by the time we learn we got it, it may be too late. We still have a lot of family connections in India. We have extended family members, our friends live there, and I'm really hoping that
Good
somehow
morning.
our voice can get out there and we can talk about our experience honestly. I know it's painful, but as much of experience we can add in here. And that's why I want to hear. Sunny, you are back. I can
Yeah,
hear you
unfortunately,
now.
sorry. In
No,
between, I
no.
had a technical glitch, so I had to switch to my phone. But I'm back on my laptop.
Thank you. Thank you for
Okay,
joining us
Sunny's
back.
back. I'll let him. Yeah, I'll let him
I,
carry on.
we were talking. I was talking to Manish, and thank you, Manish. Please hang in there. We probably will have more when we talk about recovery and healing. I would love to hear your word on that as well.
Yeah.
So, Sunny, going back to you, I know we were talking at the point when we lost you about the travel
Right.
restrictions and regulations, and it's been a whirlwind of an experience for you. Also, a very, um, eerie experience, right? It was surreal to see only 4 people. I wonder how it is as you travel back next week. Are you going to be traveling back next week to US? I can hear
Yeah,
echo.
Nita. So my plan right now. Can you hear me well now?
Um,
Can you?
it seems like the echo has settled.
Okay.
Yeah.
Going back to my travel plan. So right now, the good thing is that the second wave is pretty much behind us. So we have prepared our centers for the third wave, and with that, I would like to at least come back to Bay Area. Take a breather out of the craziness I've dealt with here. So, I'm targeting to get out this week. I have an open ticket and a booking. If everything goes well, we are well prepared now to handle, every possible complexity in terms of COVID crisis, at our centers. And we have multiple centers in Mumbai, plus we have a center at Marriott, center at Leela, and these are local centers. And I'll quickly, go through, our centers, at the corporate level. But the point here is that all of these centers have done, scrambled and then done a great job, ensuring the fatalities are, limited. And, we are well prepared to handle the third wave. So I think with that, I'm thinking, I would take a break. Yes.
Can I ask you a question here? So
Yes.
when you say the centers are well prepared to handle the third wave, can you expand on that? What do you mean by that? What are the centers doing that makes you feel you are well prepared?
Yes, actually, I would let my brother speak about, what, Vipul?
What they are doing? Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
I understand
He's
you.
right here. But I think the important thing is, we are prepared in terms of back-end infrastructure, number of test kits, connections to hospitals, getting equipment, ventilators, checking if everything is well prepared, and also at our corporate centers, Marriott, Leela, hotel groups, all of them are, well prepared. They have enough supplies, oxygen supplies to handle crisis, enough test kits, and the push now is to educate people in terms of vaccinations. And I'll just quickly mention that in association with Marriott, we kind of educated them because they went through a severe crisis with half of their employees falling sick due to COVID in April. So they are making vaccinations mandatory for all employees. Employees cannot work until they get vaccinated. So there is a huge push, and we are doing our part in terms of educating Marriott, Leela Group, and the centers there, preparing them to avoid the third wave. Obviously, the more vaccinations, the better, chances of fatalities going down in third wave. So with that, I am planning to take a short break, come back to the US, and then return back. The target is that the third wave is going to hit in about 6 to 8 weeks. So I'm thinking of taking a breather. I'm missing you guys badly, and I see all these, fun events being planned, and you guys are meeting, with all the events and parties and July 4th. So I miss all of that. So that's my plan.
Yeah. The reality in India right now is very different from the reality.
Very different.
It's
Yes.
almost like you are in two different separate lands. India is dealing with this crisis, preparing for the third wave, and here everything pretty much is open, and mask is not being required in a lot of places until you are in a hospital or some contained setting like that. So it's just like very two different worlds right now. So yes, you are looking for some reprieve. I get that.
Yeah.
So in terms of the health centers, how many health centers did you and your brother start, or they have always been around?
So they have been around for some time, and I'll share a presentation. Kind of quickly goes into what we started with. But my goal when I came here was to completely reprogram the centers in terms of operational efficiency to handle COVID. So I will be sharing, Nita, a quick short presentation with pictures about what is being done. And the centers have been around since 2004. We have built numerous along the way all over Mumbai. We built specific ones for corporates within their for COVID. I'm saying within their corporate environments, because for Marriott Group, the biggest hotel here in Mumbai, which is called Saint Regis, we actually established a local center within the hotel because of these, strict COVID requirements that employees could not even walk out of the building once they contracted COVID. So Marriott requested us to, and this was one of my objectives to come here, is to quickly build some centers, COVID centers for corporations like Marriott, Leela Group, and we are in talks with a couple of more big groups here in Mumbai to have a COVID preparedness center within the company premises, so that the employees, are well prepared. They are being educated how to handle the crisis, the third wave coming up, and how to make. So I'll tell you just one thing. What I observed when I landed here in India was that the India is a land they call Jugaad, and that's a very Hindi word which is, just do things when they hit you and then figure out some patchy way of implementing. So that jugaad word is very India specific, and I want to be funny here, but this is a land of jugaad, right? People do things on the fly, and they are not prepared to handle emergencies well enough, like we do in the US.
Right.
One of my goal with my brother's wife, she is an MD in aviation, and she handles the psychological and the emotional well-being. One of the goal is to educate corporates and the employees like Marriott to be able to prepare employees to handle things locally if they get hit with COVID. Don't panic. A lot of the fatalities happen because people here panicked with fear, and that fear still exists. And so they are not emotionally and mentally also prepared, which hits their immunity, right? Immunity is important to fight COVID, and so that's what my goal has been with my brother and his wife to prepare to start preparing for the third wave eventuality, but minimize the fatalities.
Yes, I hear you. I truly believe that in order to not just like, in fighting COVID, in recovering from COVID, in prevention, in education, we have to be prepared for both the emotional, the emotional warfare. This is like, battle against COVID. It requires all of you. There, like your whole brain, your whole body needs to be involved in it. So I'm glad that you brought up the
Yeah.
emotional
Yes.
aspect of it, and sounds like your sister-in-law is training people and educating people on how to be emotionally strong through the challenging times as well.
Right.
So tell us more. Is your brother here now? Would he be able to share some of his wisdom?
Yeah, so let me bring
Yes.
him in. I'm actually at the center, and he's running around. People, I hope you can see
Yes, I can
him
see
here.
your. Mhm. Yes.
Uh, so I have Nita and all of my friends from PhirSe group here. Want to just say hi and then go back to your thing.
Hi, how are you? Good morning, everyone.
Second.
Hi,
Yeah,
Vipul.
now you're on speaker. Yeah, please
Welcome
go
to
ahead.
the
Hi,
Dilse
hi. Good
show.
evening, USA. And if anyone,
Thank you.
sorry,
Thank you for taking this time to
yeah,
be with us. I know you have been
yeah,
busy with patients, and we have been patiently waiting for you. However, we'll understand if you can stay for the show.
yeah. Definitely, we are here.
One second,
To best of our ability,
doctor.
we'll help you out. Okay? And how's everyone there in
Yeah,
USA? How's the situation there?
Situation is situation in US is much under control. Definitely on the west side, we have done a better job of controlling it. There are other places probably not doing as well, but overall US has been vaccinating people, and more people are getting vaccinated. The only answer to this, I mean, not the only answer, but the first answer is to get vaccinated. We have.
Yeah. That's the only way we can make community spread. That's the best way. That way, we keep promoting everyone, keep telling our patient everyone. Okay, vaccination is the key thing. Yeah. Even if you get infected with COVID,
Yeah.
vaccination would prevent your severity of the disease. Yeah.
Yes.
Hey,
Yes.
hey, Nita. Hey, Sunny. We can't see Vipul on video.
Yeah, okay, just 1 second. Let me,
You have to stop sharing, Sunny.
yeah, stop share. Okay, I hope you
Yeah.
can see him now. Let me just make sure. Uh, is he visible now? Let me just start,
Not
stop
yet.
the.
So your screen shows up as blank. Oh, there.
Okay, there we go. Is
I
it
can
better
see the
now?
two brothers now. Okay. Awesome. Hi. Hi, Vipul.
Hi.
We want to really cheer you and Sunny and your wife for all the work you are doing. And I know it's centered in Mumbai, but there are a lot of members here from Mumbai, and we thought this is going to be a very, very, it's good to hear and listen how Mumbai is taking up this challenge. So
Yeah.
you think your medical centers, the health centers are ready to tackle with the wave that is ready to come on? 6 to 8 weeks, I keep hearing.
Yeah. So anyone has any questions? We're looking at anything in Mumbai, where we are based in Mumbai, and we cater to a lot of corporate company also. We it's a team with my wife, who is also a physician, and my father. We cater to a lot of corporate companies, as well as we have our own family patients. We help them out during the COVID times.
Thank you.
So, yeah, Nita,
Hey.
is it okay if I say, can I
Yeah.
talk to one or couple of sentences to Sunny and his
Yes.
brother?
Yes, Krishna.
Yeah.
Please.
Hi, Sunny and Vipul.
Hi.
Thanks a lot for your services. Really appreciate that. I have recently, like I know you guys are looking at several ways to help different people, like stages. I have a bunch of doctors available through
Yeah.
all the Institute of Medical Sciences, NIMHAS, and other areas. Recently, this is for education purpose. We recently conducted a month-long seminars in various aspects. Basically, the medical community, scientific community, and yoga community got together and trying to. I mean, it's not at the crisis level, but mostly prevention area and educating area. If you need any help or if you want any collaboration, I can connect you with a few directors from All India Institute of Medical Science in Delhi, as well as Hrishikesh. And also we have few doctors from US who are actively exploring the science behind yoga in prevention of communicable diseases as well as NCDs. So if you need any way, we have like a sorry, we have few doctors.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
big community.
that would be.
We have big
Yeah.
community
So
of
that
doctors
would be.
from medical as well as psychiatrists. There's a lot of psychiatrists as well as the yoga community. I think if it can be of any help, they're all service-oriented people. The AIMS as well as the NIMAS in India.
Great. Great.
Yeah, yeah.
So that would be a great help. I would take your number and your email ID from Sandeep, and I would love to connect with you, because it would be a collective help to everyone. So that way we are going to fight and help to try to in somewhat what we call to eradicate this pandemic, to come out of the pandemic.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey,
It's a big medical community as well as the scientific community. We are working along with the psychiatrists throughout the world. So it will be a great collaborative effect, in whatever way we can. I will get in touch with Sunny to pass my information. Feel free to get in touch with me. Okay, I appreciate your work again. Thank you.
Thank you, Krishna, for sharing this info.
Thank you, Nita. I appreciate it.
Yes, the more.
Hey, Dr. Vipul. Hey, Nita. Just a second. Okay. Hey, Dr. Vipul. This is Manish here.
Hi, Manish.
Hi, this is Manish Ankola. We spoke a lot on WhatsApp, if you remember.
Yeah. We had
I just want to take this opportunity. I just want to take this opportunity to thank you for everything that you did for us. I really appreciate.
Oh no, Manish, I felt very bad. We tried a lot, but we not, very sorry to say we could not save your mother and brother. I was in constant touch with your sister-in-law, and I spoke to the treating doctor also, but somehow it went against us. Very unfortunate and very sorry for that.
Yeah, I mean, it just went control in the end. We just couldn't do
very
it.
Unfortunate. Yeah. It was too shocking. When we heard that news, and I don't know. Still, it remains in the mind. Where we went wrong, or we could have done a little bit more. It always plays in the mind. But very sorry.
Yeah. Again, thank you very much for everything that you did for us. Thank you. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And thank you for all the good work that you do.
Yeah, we are, what we have learned during this pandemic, it is just a support to the relatives as well as the who's being infected, and that, we have understood that that's the key treatment to take, for the COVID. We give, a lot of medicine, but that has not been internationally approved. But the, what we call now, it's a holistic approach to COVID treatment, and that is the key treatment which works here. I have a lot of my patients which I do on as a home quarantine, and I interact with them every day, and that support system, they feel that someone is there to take care, and that, it's a key treatment, and that really helps here.
Yeah. And I think educating the family also helps a lot. Like it just, people don't know what's going on. So I think it helps a lot to educate the family.
Yeah, a lot of things which we felt, things were, not happening good in the lot of hospitals. They were not interact with the relatives there, and that, it's a lacuna. People are so preoccupied, and I keep telling a lot of hospitals, okay, they should, interact once they see the patients when they are coming for the rounds. At least they should spend at least a minute to speak to the relatives there, because no relatives were allowed in the hospital. And so 1 minute speaking to the relatives, put them at ease that things are going on well there.
Yeah, I don't blame them also. Like, I think the doctors were overwhelmed during that time frame, April-May time frame, when it all just blew out of proportion. So, and it was new to everybody as far as I know, so everybody was grappling with this thing, how to handle it. Yeah, but I do feel that, what you said, it would be very nice if the doctor spoke with the patients or their family, explain what's going on, and educate everybody about COVID. That would be very helpful to everybody, I think.
There's another thing to all of this, right? Like there were so many WhatsApp messages going around, or messages, articles on Google, and here there. People thought they learned it all from WhatsApp and Google. But until the time you actually are talking to the doctors and talking to people who have gone through this, you really are not prepared. Prevention and vaccination is the way to go. I think I really appreciate, that Dr. Vipul, you are taking time to actually talk to the patient family and also educating them, because I personally, from what I went through, I feel like education is not, equally accessed by everyone. Maybe some people are more educated, they take time, but not everyone would be educated on, what do you feel in terms of education of, my question is actually more about the local, the government, the local government. You think local government has done a good job in talking about COVID, teaching, preventing?
Yeah, they are working, believe me, I am in touch with local BMC authorities, and, they are, working round the clock here, but the disease is such, the population is, it's too much. That's why, you can hear, some lapses somewhere. But, the people, the medias have glorified, that lapses, and I've seen all the government medical regulators, the central government, the state government, they are working round the clock. And because of their efficiency, we could prevent the further spread of the disease. It is well controlled now. I used to see, you won't believe, I used to see more than 15-20 patients per day, which used to be under my care, in the home quarantine. And last almost 15 days, I have not seen a single COVID patient there. So it is just because of their effort, to prevent the spread of the disease there.
This is
sorry.
Sorry, I'm going to say this is all the medical community and then the local government that is working together. It requires more than one person, right?
Yeah, I think, Nita, just 1 second. Patients keep walking in, so people keeps getting called in between.
I can see that. It's a busy time. We thank you so much, Vipul and Sunny, for letting us talk to you guys. I
Dr.
don't want
Vipul,
to keep
just
you
one.
away from helping others. You know, you are doing an awesome, amazing, noble job, Sunny. You travel all the way from here to India to support your brother, support the community, and be part of this humanitarian work. I mean, we cannot give you enough kudos. And Dr. Vipul, keep
Yeah.
up this awesome work. Anything else that you would like to add, Sunny and Vipul, from your side? Anything in terms of education, recovery, prevention?
If anyone needs any help, you can just share my number. They can just message me, and I'll go out of their way to best of my ability to help everyone. Don't worry, we are here to take care of everyone. Uh, in any, I'm well connected with a lot of hospitals. I have worked very hard with the BMC, my local government authority also, and they have a lot of big centers. When during the peak COVID times, when a lot of patients used to call us, and we used to find out which quarantine center has a vacancy, and we used to guide them. I used to talk to the local government authorities, which they have developed well-developed quarantine centers. So they used to go there. So if anyone needs any help, they can connect with me, and or they can just message me. I'm just a phone call, and I can help them out there.
Thank you so much for your kindness. I really appreciate. One question for you, Dr. Vipul. When you are extending your support, this is for the Mumbai community, because your centers are in Mumbai, right? You're
Yeah,
talking
Mumbai.
about
Yes.
Mumbai, right? Okay, just wanted to, because I know. I mean, here members are from all over the India and beyond. So, but thank you. I don't want to keep you away from your patients. They are really looking for you.
So quick question,
Okay.
Dr. Vipul, like what's the vaccination situation in India right now? Like when?
It's pretty good now. In between there was a shortage of vaccination, vaccines availability, but now things are pretty smooth line. Government to promote more vaccination, government centers, government has made it free. There are a lot of private hospitals are also getting good supply of vaccine, so they are also vaccinating a lot of people there. So that shortage has, it's almost become nil now.
And is
But
there
there
any?
are, very few centers are there. Previously, there were a lot of centers, but now it is centralized to few centers, so that everyone can go there and take the vaccination. And especially in the government run centers, they are free.
And is there any age restriction at this point?
There is no age restriction. Above 18 now. They have not started yet below 18 now. Still waiting for the government approval, but above 18, they are vaccinating everyone, irrespective of the comorbid conditions there.
That's good to know.
What is
And I should recommend everyone, because there are misconceptions. If someone has a comorbid condition, they should not take the vaccination. And my answer would be everyone should get vaccination, irrespective of their comorbid conditions.
Dr. Vipul, you have website to do some education, right? Like general education around
Yeah.
COVID.
Yeah.
We would love to, if you want to, maybe Sunny share that. We can actually, put it out on the home group. And I think that
Sure,
would,
Nita.
yeah.
I'm going to share our COVID focus services here. Let me just quickly go back into sharing mode. And the key is, COVID plus there is a lot of people have secondary issues. So we target, now we are trying to go, not only COVID, but expand to make sure people live healthy, stay healthy. And that's the, short way to reduce fatalities. So I don't know if you can see my screen, Nita.
Yes. Yeah, we can see.
Right. So, Vipul, do you want to show our website and
what you are showing to us?
Right. Right. So basically, Nita, with Vipul, I'm here showing, some of how our efforts have paid off. So there's some pictures, and I'm going to quickly walk through COVID-related focus areas. But if you, as you see on the screen, the first picture is for the recognition we got from Marriott Group. In terms of setting up a center and handling their COVID emergency. And they were very happy about it. It made a huge impact to them, and so our center was awarded. And the first picture is my brother Vipul here and his wife, and the general manager of Marriott Group, Nick Numbel, right? So Nick Numbel, giving the big award. And second picture has the, and so viewers can go to our website, onestopmedicals.in, and what I'm sharing is already on our website under the COVID-19 medical services. The second picture is the award we received. The third is, once the Marriott Group crisis was resolved, and there was no fatalities, which was a huge achievement for Marriott, from our end. We managed the whole thing, with following protocols and being very focused on saving lives. So that's the reason Marriott gave us the award. And then when Leela Group, which is another huge, hospitality hotels group, heard about it, they immediately invited us. I was fortunate to be here. This was about a few weeks ago, and they have also given us the same, services to handle in terms of COVID. And then a few other pictures that show our own center here. In terms of this picture here just shows one of our lab technicians doing a swab test. And let me go back to here. Vipul, this is the other one, right? This is the second one is another COVID testing.
COVID testing, the RT-PCR COVID testing.
RT-PCR, okay. So this is another RT-PCR COVID testing. It shows the center.
This is the antibody test.
This is the antibody.
Yeah, this is the antibody COVID testing.
Okay, so this is right where we are. Just behind me is a big lab, pathology lab, where we are sitting behind the wall. And that's where, all the patients are taken for their testing. This is that picture. And this is just one center. We are at Worli Center, and we have multiple centers doing the same thing. Let's quickly go into, I think I want to mention Time Group just a few days ago selected us and gave a big, acknowledgement to Vipul here, which I'm very happy to share on the screen. And they're going to follow up with a report, a special report on it. So that's kind of a quick rundown of pictures. This is during that Marriott award ceremony. I was fortunate to be here at that time. So just quickly, I want to bring up, Vipul can quickly walk through what the areas we focus on at our centers. In the interest of time, we'll have to make a quick run on this. So Vipul, why don't you just quickly talk about what we have offerings?
Hi. So we right from the patient walks in with the symptoms, and if we suspect as a COVID, we do a clinical evaluation, and we guide them to do blood test as well as the X-rays and the COVID RT-PCR test. Once they are done with the test, the patients we ask them to just be quarantined till the reports are ready, and we see to it this RT-PCR reports are come fast so that they prevent the community spread, or if they are positive. And if they are positive, then depending upon the severity, we guide them what how to go about it. So normally the 14 days home quarantine, we advise them depending upon the severity and ask them to monitor their oxygen saturation at home. and see if the oxygen, we see if the oxygen saturation drops below 95, and if he has comorbid condition, then we guide them to get admitted. So right from the clinical evaluation to diagnosis till the end of 14 days, we keep day-to-day clinical evaluation through a WhatsApp phone or the phone call. We just observe the patient's day-to-day how it goes and guide them accordingly. But believe me, in those 14 days, they in the home quarantine. If I'm not available, my wife takes care of them. Just one phone call, and we take every day clinical evaluation, whether he's developed some breathlessness or there is increase in temperature, and we take a call that way.
Wow.
I think we covered all these areas, Nita. So if, what I want to do is also take a quick minute and bring Dr. Punita, if she is around and not with the patient. Is she with the patient?
Sure.
Yeah.
We'll hang around.
I just want her to say hi. She is the center head for this center. She ensures quality. We follow strict government protocols in everything. And she's been the pillar of strength because she handles the emotional education part, reducing fear, which improves your immunity and indirectly helps saving lives. So if she's around, is she with the patient?
No, she's not there. I'll get her.
Okay.
If anyone has a question to me,
then you have to remove the, you have to stop sharing. If you would like to
Yeah, I will stop sharing.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I have a question on the antibody test, Dr. Vipul. Is that one of these tests that would you recommend it for everyone, or who should even go for it?
antibodies is, post vaccination, we advise, they should get the antibody testing done to see how the body has responded in developing immunoglobulins. So, post vaccination, sometimes, we have seen the antibodies are not sufficiently developed. Just to get an idea how they are, but it would be ideally should be after the second dose.
Oh, okay. So people should wait how many days before they take antibody test?
I would recommend the 2 weeks, post vaccination to get an idea how the immunoglobulins are developed.
I think we're starting to lose you again. Sorry, listeners. I think we.
Yeah, I think if they stop the video, the bandwidth can be better because sometimes it takes more bandwidth than the video.
Yeah, yeah. Perhaps Sunny, you could turn off your video. That would help with the streaming, I think.
You're right. Let me do that. I think
Yeah, Sunny, stop the video, and I think that may help with the streaming.
So I have a question, Sunny. I think
I'll call.
Yeah, if any of our friends or family,
I just want to quickly invite my bhabhi, Vipul's wife, just to say hi. She handles the quality control. And okay, is it better now, Nita?
I can hear you much better now. Yes, and I think Sunny, some people may have questions for you guys, so. I also want to do a quick time check. We are at, we are past the 1 hour allocated for this program, but we'll hang back because I think people may have questions. So
what I would like to do, Nita, is quickly invite Dr. Punita here, and then maybe for questions, people can send us questions, and I'll be happy to, respond directly. I'll have Vipul respond.
Sure. Yes, let's introduce your bhabhi.
Yeah, she's my bhabhi. She is the pillar of our strength here. Hope you can see her. Hold on one second.
Oh yeah, turn on the video.
Okay.
Hello, Dr. Punita. How have you been?
Hello. Can you all see me now?
Yes, we can see you. We can see
Okay,
you.
lovely.
We can hear you. Thank you for
Lovely.
all the work, the amazing work as a team. It's amazing what you are doing on a daily basis and how your health center has really helped so many people.
Thank you so much for your kind words. It's actually all the divine's grace. It is His will and His ways, and we're just too grateful that we could be a part of His workings for all His children. And as Sandeep said, that we're always here for your families and loved ones who live in Mumbai or anywhere in India for that matter. Me and Vipul are always here with our team. Our team has been very dedicated, and we're very grateful to our team also, who agreed to work through these difficult times, putting their own families and themselves at risk. So we wouldn't have done this without them. And as Sandeep said, if you have any questions, please free to message it to him, and we'll be more than happy not only to answer your questions, but also to be of assistance to your loved ones and your families and friends here. And I will not leave without saying my favorite message, and that is the 4 pillars of well-being. It's, we have adversities, difficulties, and the virus is just one of the things that we deal with in our day-to-day life. And what's most important for us is, to prepare ourselves, to hone ourselves in such a way that whatever the situation, we are able to face it with the right spirit in mind, body, and soul. And therefore, I always encourage that each one of us works on improving our own well-being, what I call the 4 pillars of well-being. We work on our physical well-being, which is our physical health. We take too many things for granted, what time we sleep, what we eat, what we do, taking all the things that come our way without even being conscious of it. We have to be mindful of our own activities, our own habits, if I may say, and work on them so that we try and keep them balanced. And that improves the physical well-being. Next is the psychological well-being, and especially in times like COVID, where we have all kinds of information overload from all over the world, it overwhelms us. We have limited resources within and around ourselves, and we don't really know the best way to deal with it. And therefore, anxiety, negativity, worry, everything creeps up. And that's not the right thing. So I know it's unavoidable to an extent, but not entirely. If we decide that we want to filter what comes in, what affects us, and how we want to take it, that is entirely on us. We don't need to react to everything that we are exposed to. So our psychological well-being is entirely our responsibility. You have to be in the positive, calm, composed state of mind that, okay, this is the situation, let's face it, what's the best that we can do in it? We need to work on our own psychological well-being. The third pillar is the environment. The people, the information, the energies, and everything that we surround ourselves with. If we panic, the children will panic, the elders will panic, the friends will panic. Please do not spread panic. We need to be there for each other in a positive way, not by calling them 4 times a day. Oh, I hope you're fine. I hope you've checked your oxygen. I hope you're able to smell well today. No, we don't need that kind of anxiety. We need people who are supportive, who are positive, who are progressive, and who know that we can reach out to if we need. So we need to build on our environment within us, around us, in our immediate vicinity, and to the society at large. And that includes, spreading wrong information and things like that. So that's our environmental well-being. And the fourth, and equally important, is the spiritual well-being. That yes, things are difficult. Yes, there are a lot of things that are beyond our control, but the belief, the trust, the faith, and the underlying faith that there is energy, power, a higher self within us and within all of us that actually looks after things. And it's like, if I depend only on my limited resources, which I believe I have, then I can't do much. But if I open myself to the higher energies, to the supreme divine energy which protects and looks after the whole creation, we are just a one little small existence in the whole creation. But if we connect to our higher selves, the vastness of the energy that we will get is tremendous. And in fact, I can share that is what actually helped us to do whatever little that we could contribute. So our spiritual well-being is something that we need to all invest into, even 10 minutes in the whole day. So I call them the four pillars: the physical, the physiological, the environmental, and the spiritual. So if you take the first letter of each, it is PPES, and these are our real personal protective equipments. And if we are donning these, we may have a virus attack, we may have things going wrong, but we will be able to withstand it. We will be able to come out of it. And whatever the outcome, whatever, it doesn't matter. So what? So be it. We live it to our best. That's my message for all of you.
Very, very well said, Dr. PrirSe. Very well said. And I agree with every single word you have said. So yes, thank you for reminding all of us about the four pillars.
Hey, Dr. Punita, this is Manish here. We haven't spoken, but you must have definitely heard about me from Sandeep. I just want to thank you for everything that you and Dr. Vipul does for everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll take your leave. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Punita.
Anyone else?
Okay, Vipul. All right, Nita, I think, I don't know how much time we have. We have already overshoot. But if there's any specific questions for Vipul, I'll bring him back in. He's running around as we speak, patients are walking in. So
I know.
is there anything else, Nita, specific medical? Let me bring him in. And
I'm looking at, I don't see any other new question posted here. So I think we can actually adjourn our meeting, but not before. I thank all of you, Dr. Vipul, Sunny, Dr. Punita, for this amazing work you are doing, putting your lives at risk and creating value every single day. You guys sound very organized. You guys sound extremely dedicated, and it seems like your patients are getting better and better. So thanks again. Thanks again for being part of this PrirSe show tonight. Sunny, I'm going to close the meeting tonight. Thank you for creating time and space for us. And I will encourage everyone who, in the audience who wanted to send you questions, they can post the questions. We can let you know.
all right, Nita, thank you. Appreciate your efforts in putting this together. And giving us an opportunity from Mumbai to talk to you guys in the US. My buddies, as I tell Vipul, I have my buddies in the US. So, I can't wait to fly back, meet you all in person, take a short break from the craziness I saw here. And then, if hopefully we don't hit a third wave, as nasty, and I don't have to come back here. We are prepared, but in the eventuality, if our centers and India needs me again, I'm going to come back. So I hope I don't have to, because I miss PrirSe family very badly. So let's see.
Thanks.
The PrirSe family is waiting here for you. I'm going to take just a minute to thank some other PrirSe members who have been very active during this COVID time. For example, Tushar, Dr. Purnima, Dr. Divya, Meenu, Anisha. There are so many other doctors and nurses. Madhav. Everyone has been contributing in a big way towards getting the community to a better place. And, thank you to all of you, all of the medical community here. Good night.
Thanks, Nita. Thanks for hosting.